Lavender. I think it's one of those things that if you put too much of it in, then it's just like eating a bottle of perfume. It's like...
And lavender's not the only strong flavour in Niall's dish.
Key to me is this here. Ling honey. It's the daddy of honeys. Try it there.
Whoa.
Amazing, eh?
That is such a powerful smell. The honey is so intense. Lavender is really, really intense. One can completely overpower the other and completely destroy the whole dish. He's got to get this right.
And no one knows that more than Niall.
This is it. If we don't get it today, I'm out. I'll be very upset and I'll probably cry.
There's nothing worse than seeing a grown man cry.
No, trust me, it wouldn't be the first time.
Next up is the Yellow Man, a Northern Irish take on honeycomb. Followed by the Tweels, which Niall's making from sugar and glucose. Then it's Will's turn to ramp up the pressure.
It'd be interesting doing 100 of those.
They're no problem. No, man. No problem at all.
With the decorative Tweels already proving tricky, the last thing Niall needs now is another problem.
You all right, Niall? Looks like you're having a mare without pipe and bag.
I think it just got stitched.
I think you need stitching in that more like.
With the bag repaired, Niall pipes out the ice cream into moulds and plates up his rhubarb and strawberry jelly. The ice cream is then rolled in crumbed Yellowman and placed inside the fragile sugar Tweels. But as he rushes to finish off the plates, there's a disaster.
Aye, that's the problem. Can I have another plate of the blast chiller, please? Yeah.
His elbow broke one of the other Tweels. Everything rides on this dish for him. That's why he's nervy.
Right, guys, here we go. Boom. Bang. Judges.
Yeah,
well done. Go. Thank you. Quickly, go. Big smiles, boys. So, Mr. Clumsy came out, so I just had to put the plate back together again and bang it out.
That looks good.
Hooray!
Ah, I feel such relief.
An old friend has come home to roost.
This is very delicate. I mean, that sugar work is, you know, it's excellent sugar.
What I think that stands out here is that there's an element of skill on the plate with the main dessert, with the ice cream roll, and the way he's got the caramel so fine. The texture's great. The flavours are there. The lavender is beautiful. You know, you can smell it in the air. You can picture it, can't you? You can see the lavender fields now, and you can.
The sunshine rippling
but that's
over
what food is all about. It's about a memory of something. It's about something that you will go away and you'll never forget.
There's some care and love in this dish. There's someone who's, you know...
Skill.
The skill.
That's skill.
You know, and it is perfect for Prince Charles and the Duchess of Cornwall. The producers, I think, as well, will feel a real sense that the land has been celebrated with this.
But I also think he's fulfilled that part of the brief where he said, go out and find great local ingredients. And I think he's done that. And even down to the use of Yellow Man. Now, Yellow Man is something that is very, very characteristic of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and I think that is a brilliant addition.
I mean, I just feel a huge sense of relief.
The most important thing is he's brought a smile to your face.
Yes. And to yours, Mark.
To mine as well.
Yeah.
So, positive comments from the judges. Will Niall's fellow chefs make the verdict unanimous?
That is beautiful. I love lavender, and that's fantastic. Quite subtle.
I'll be honest with you, lavender is not something I particularly care for. It's one of my least favourite things to eat.
Would you put yourself in the top 3?
At the end of the day, it's down to the judges. The same as everybody around this table. We all want to be there.
The texture was there, the crunch, the whole thing was brilliant. I'm going to give it a 9.
It was exactly what we've been asking for. It looked exquisite. That very, very fine caramel was really skillful. I'm giving it a 9.
Oh, yummy, 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 yummy. Please, yes, it's an 8.
Absolutely fabulous to Niall. 9.
It's decision day today. Once the judges have ranked their top 3 desserts, they'll be deciding on the final menu for the banquet. And Tom and Kenny can't help but wonder what it would be like to be there.
It'll all be over by the end of tonight, and you'll know whether you'll go into the banquet and cooking some fantastic food, or you're just going to go home and get on with the rest of your life.
I'm looking forward, if I do get the banquet, to meeting some great producers. More importantly, meeting the Prince of Wales, cooking for him. Cooking for royalty is always going to be an honour. So all we got to do now is just nail our desserts. Yeah. Or our desserts nail us. Final nail in the coffin.
So how will the next group of chefs perform? Lisa Allen from the Northwest, the Southwest's Nathan Outlaw, and Scotland's Alan Murchison make their way into the kitchen. All week, Nathan and Lisa have performed well. But despite a single-minded confidence in his own dishes, Alan has failed so far to make his mark. And yesterday, his improvised beef dish came in last place.
So here we are again.
You got probably a little bit more relaxed than me. You both had a couple of good results, eh?
Yeah, it was good. It was a good day yesterday.
2 top 3 finishes. Yeah. Could do better, I think, is what they say at school.
But the same can't be said for Lisa, who spent the week showing the others how it's done. Her confident cooking has seen her in the top 3 with both her starter and main courses. But will the dessert be her undoing? The judges and markers had conflicting opinions about her strawberry and Kendal mint cake creation in the regional heats.
Lisa's dessert, I heard earlier that she's changed it, which I'm quite surprised.
Well, I'm very glad she's changed it.
Really?
Oh, it was awful.
I thought that it was probably one of the most inventive things that she did.
I don't know what she'd done to it by the time we got it, but it was really sweet. It was very sloppy, so that as you ate it, it got to look more and more unappetising.
There was no sloppiness with it when I tasted it.
To change my dessert, because the last one didn't go down very well. This time I've gone for a traditional pudding from a little village called Barber Green, which is from the area that I've been researching, so hopefully I can do it justice.
Lisa starts by making her custard base from milk and butter produced near her estate, which is then infused with cinnamon. She's top of the rankings today for her local sourcing quota, but her decision to change her dish completely at this stage is raising questions among her rivals.
I think the risk in changing something completely and bringing in a new dish is that the judges have already seen one of your dishes. The change has got to be better.
Undeterred, Lisa presses on with her custard base, which she cooks in a bain-marie. And now it's Alan's turn to raise doubts about her choice.
Is it heavy? It sounds as if it could be heavy if you weren't really cute.
No.
A dessert is the last thing the guests have. Quite often, it's the lasting memory they take away from the meal. Are they going to remember rhubarb and custard in any form? They might not. It might just be a little bit safe.
Pressing on, Lisa makes a jam from rhubarb grown on farmland right next to her historic property. And while her custard base is cool, Tom's next in line with his words of wisdom on her dessert.
In my heat, I did my sponge in those jars, and I got feedback from the judges that they didn't like the jars.
Really?
Lisa has no choice but to carry on. And while she's focusing on the job in hand, Kenny seems to be taking a close interest in her method and recipe.
Have we got any trays like this? Yeah. I need about 3 of those, mate, OK?
But Lisa is too involved in her own desserts to notice, and she adds rhubarb to the custard, tops with meringue, and finishes her puddings off in the oven. Finally, she adds cream and a dusting of cinnamon.
Don't shake.
He's scared of you.
But will the judges be frightened off by Lisa's brand new offering of Barber Green pudding with rhubarb?
I just love that. Don't you love that?
Me too, I love
Prue,
that.
I crown you Queen of Puddings.
Thank you. You know what? I think it looks like the hills of Cappadocia.
Different?
That's very cautious, Marcus.
I'm going to wait for the flavour.
It all looks very cutesy. You're then expecting it to be wow inside, and wow inside it's absolutely not. I mean, what's that cream doing there? I mean, you know.
I'm getting a lot of pleasure out of this, actually, because I think that you've got this, got the meringue on top, which is quite sweet. Then you've got this very tart rhubarb jam in the middle, and then you've got this suave custard at the bottom.
Suave custard at the bottom.
This is what cream and pudding.
That is not suave custard.
It is suave.
It's not a suave custard.
I mean, honestly, I think it's pretty flavourless affair as custard goes.
Curdled is what it is. What she's done is she's had to cook the custard to get it, then to put the rhubarb on so that the rhubarb can sit on it, put the meringue on, put it back in the oven, and it's putting it back in that oven. That's where it's gone. That technically is a fault.
Mine isn't cold. It's a classic Greener puddings, only with cinnamon and without the lemon peel.
She's obviously taken on board what you said about her last dessert. She had it right when I tasted it. Yeah. And I think you've panicked her, all three of you. You've panicked the girl.
Are responsible.
She's gone back and she's pulled something from a pub. That's a pub dish.
So is it second time unlucky for Lisa with her fellow chefs?
Very, very light. And you need something in there, I think, a bit of weight behind it.
I think it's missing just a bit of crunch.
I think that it's a beautiful, lovely, homely dessert, but perhaps should be allowed to stay there. So it's going to be 6 from me.
I don't think it was the best pudding I've ever eaten in my life, but there was absolutely nothing wrong with it. It's a 6.
Lisa came up with this very original idea of meringue peaks. What a very good idea. And for that reason, I'm going to give it a 4.
Lisa, I felt let herself really down today, big time. For that, I'm going to give her a 3.
So can Alan do any better? Despite an unwavering confidence in his own ability, his dishes have bombed so far this week. So today he's sticking to the carrot cake extravaganza that went down so well in the regional heats.
You'll love it or you hate it. A cake as a dessert in the summer, I could get nailed for it.
He has done so badly so far in this competition. I mean, he's had 3 duds, basically.
Last chance saloon, then.
It is the last chance.
As Alan gets to grips with the numerous carroty components for his dish, Nathan can't help sharing his doubts over his choice.
Doing a cake for a dessert, do you think it's a bit risky, maybe a bit heavy, or...?
If I'd just done a big slab of cake, then yeah, I could see it being quite heavy. We'll see.
And it seems Alan's cake is drawing a crowd.
He looks really confident in this dish, doesn't he?
My only issue with it is a root vegetable with like a slightly spiced cake. That just takes you down more the autumn route rather than the spring-summer. But
with a lack of soft fruit growing on or near his historic property, Alan has had to make a virtue of what was available. And he's gone to town on the humble vegetable, as his dessert contains 7 different takes on carrot.
I think concentrating on carrots and doing carrots 10 ways is very risky. You know, Scotland are brave, and there's definitely that. I think they're looking for a wow factor, really, with that.
Is it a carrot?
Very, very good question, Lisa. I'm glad you asked that. If it's treated well, and you put a little bit of technique in there, it'll be fine.
I think the jury will be out on it, I think.
You reckon?
Yeah.
We'll either be top 3 or in the ill-conceived group again. Carrots, 1 single ingredient. Is it right? Maybe I'm seeing something that nobody else is. Could be at the bottom again today. I'm going to hope not.
And he'll soon find out, as it's time to plate up. First up, a caramel carrot. Then the carrot cake, carrot puree, carrot sorbet, and carrot powder. Cream cheese ice cream, and finally, a carrot tuile. So, will the prince and the producers be eating cake at the banquet?
It looks like an exercise in geometry. Circles, squares, rectangles.
I think it looks interesting. What do you think, Marcus?
It's carrot.
Yeah, it's carrot.
It is, isn't it?
I love the idea of carrot cake as pudding.
It's a little mouthful of heaven.
I love that puree.
There's a lot more ginger in the cake.
Yeah.
I think the cake's too big, but it is very delicious, especially if you eat it with the cream cheese ice cream.
I think the cake's delicious. I think the cake's really good. I always look at a dessert as that sometimes there's one thing too many. And when I taste the carrot sorbet, I don't taste the carrot, but yet you taste the carrot cake and you get it straight away.
I'd personally lose the sorbet because I think it detracts slightly.
I would agree. I think if you just Lose the sorbet and the carrot, the shriveled up carrot that shouldn't really be there.
Carrot cake by itself is not such a celebration. I love the fact that he's done lots of things with this carrot.
I think it is a brave decision to have chosen carrot as his main ingredient, because you get given an estate, and if there's no fruit, then you've got to use your ingenuity. I think he's come up with a very handsome solution to that.
I'm happy and relieved for Alan, actually, because I think he's excelled here. I think it's extremely brave, as Matthew said, to take on carrot cake. I think he's done a wonderful job, and I'd be happy to see it at the banquet.
I don't like the carrot, being honest.
It's a cross between being really overcooked or raw.